Hello everyone and welcome to my week 7 multimedia discussion board about tax avoidance. Today I will be discussing 3 methods of tax avoidance and what tax avoidance is. Tax avoidance is taking full advantage of how the tax code is written to reduce one's tax liabilities, which is fully legal, unlike tax evasion, which is illegal and generally involves in lying to the IRS about your income. One form of tax avoidance is claiming income in a low tax area, which is considered tax arbitrage, which essentially allows people to take advantage of the different tax rates in different jurisdictions. And this can be similar to the substitution effect we learned, where you look at 2 different jurisdictions with 2 different tax rates. Rather than purchasing it in the one with a higher tax rate, you move to the second jurisdiction, which has a lower tax rate, and either selling your product or buying your product there, therefore saving you the tax liability of the higher jurisdiction in which the tax rate is higher. Another form of tax avoidance is taking out college loans in order to pay for college. By taking out a college loan, you qualify for certain deductions based in the tax code, which would allow you to lower your overall tax liability. Deductions can be considered a form of a tax shelter, which is an investment scheme that can reduce one's tax liability. Therefore, overall, it would lower their net income over that year, which is a tax avoidance that I feel most people can use. A lot of us take out student loans throughout their undergrad and graduate programs in order to help pay for their college classes. The final method of tax avoidance I'll be discussing is postponement of taxes. And a lot of things can fall into this, but one example is 401k. Now, the postponement of taxes is essentially delaying the recognition of the income until a later date and reporting it at that later date, possibly when the tax rates go down, in order to pay less taxes, which therefore lowers your tax liability. The example I gave earlier, 401k, basically you're putting your untaxed income into this account for it to be invested in other places. Once you pull it out is when it's taxed. So say you're 60 years old and you retire, that's when it gets taxed. So the tax rate can either go up or down. Hopefully it goes down, therefore you get more of the money that you earned earlier and possibly the investment of it. This method we see a lot, especially with like private sector companies. Public sectors can have something very similar. Like I have a 457 account, which pretty much does the same exact thing. My parents have 401ks because they're in the private sector. So we do see this one a lot, and it can also be a form of a tax shelter as well, protecting that money from being taxed until a later date. Certainly qualifies as a tax avoidance. And that is my presentation on tax avoidance. Thank you for listening. And the following slide has my citations.